I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are.
Right. If Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather gets made, it does more than Terence Crawford Canelo on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Clip that.
He pulled out a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about, so it's going to be a great fight.
Leonard Ellerb has warned Floyd Mayweather not to fight Manny Pacquiao again. Said boxing is a dangerous sport where one punch can change everything. Ellerb believes that when a fighter is near the end of their career, they should avoid risky fights and focus on their health and financial future. He feels that once a legacy is secure, there's no need to prove anything more.
Do what's best for him. If he feels as though the time is now to walk away, but I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are. And boxing is a brutal sport, and all it takes is, one punch here, and again, the whole life is completely changed. And the key is to get in this sport and to become successful, meaning fight the best guys that are out there, and then make a lot of money, and then be able to go out and do whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, for being in a position to take care of your family. That's what it's all about.
In a rare public comment, Mayweather's son said he doesn't want his father to fight Pacquiao again. He didn't mention Manny directly, but it's clear he's worried about his father's health. He believes Floyd has already done enough in boxing and has nothing left to prove. His concern comes from love and care, not from competition.
Ron, I'm too much. Mucho gusto. I don't know. You gotta ask him. No. Everybody's old. Can you put another shrimp in the box?
Manny Pacquiao has openly said he's ready to fight anyone, especially Mayweather, if he's serious. Manny told Floyd to sign the contract if he really wants to come out of retirement. Pacquiao says he's confident, in shape, and believes there's unfinished business between them. He still feels strong and is ready for the challenge.
To coax Floyd Mayweather out and maybe you guys get a rematch right here in this same building, do you feel like that this version of you beats the version of Floyd Mayweather that exists today?
It's hard to talk about the fighter who retired already. If he comes out and go sign the contract and we will fight. Let's fight again if you want. I have no problem with that. I'm active now. I don't pick my opponent. I don't, I fight them all.
WBC President Mauricio Suleiman gave a balanced opinion. He praised Mayweather's legendary career and said boxing doesn't need to demand more from him. But he also admitted that if fans keep asking for the rematch, it could happen. His comments show how fan demand often drives big fights in boxing.
But can you see a scenario where, obviously, Floyd, who's held the WBC titles many over his career, maybe gets tempted out of retirement for a Manny Pacquiao rematch?
What do you say?
I say he doesn't need to fight again, but I also would definitely come and watch. So I'm sort of like,
You'll come and watch. We have to see what happens Saturday, first of all. Of course, Floyd is legendary, just as Manny. There's no issue there. But you cannot skip. There's various before, and Lance is a great journalist. I think he pulled out a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination. But it's something that has people talking about, so it's going to be a great fight.
In recent interviews and social media posts, Pacquiao has shown he's very serious about fighting Mayweather again. He believes he can win this time and rewrite history. After his performance against Barrios, Manny feels he still has what it were. Takes he isn't just talking, he sounds determined to make it happen.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about that fight a little bit. Being in there with Floyd, Floyd being in there with you, like, what was the experience like being there in the ring fighting him finally?
It's good, but despite all those things, but then after the fight, right after the fight, I went to the hospital and got operated with my
Yeah, you got an
shoulder.
operation, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you posted a picture of
Really hurt.
Was he better or worse than you thought he was?
No, that's his style. Like, I knew it. But the thing is, I'm expecting that I won the fight because he didn't throw a lot of punches. I throw a lot of punches. And I reviewed the compy box, like slow motion from first round to 12 rounds. Like how many punches get connected and how many punches of him he connected. You know, that's boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining or making, just it happened that way. It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Yeah, that fire never dies, man.
My right hand is complete, so.
Boxing analyst Chris Algieri shared a thoughtful take on the rematch talk. Said while the fight isn't guaranteed, it's definitely possible. He believes Pacquiao's recent fight has sparked new interest, according to Algieri. Manny's hunger and readiness could be enough to tempt Mayweather back into the ring.
Listen, if Floyd's talking about coming back, no.
And that's what I wanted to touch on. Do you think that this now warrants Floyd Mayweather with his competitive spirit and attitude to come back and maybe try to one-up Manny Pacquiao by beating him again?
That wouldn't surprise me at all because I know how Floyd is when it comes to, seeing other people doing their thing. He's like, that's Chris. So I think that's a really good possibility of happening. But again, that's going to come down to Floyd and Manny. I think they're both in the driver's seat. Floyd's always in the driver's seat, Hey, sir, how are you, man?
Even before Pacquiao fought Mario Barrios, people were already saying a win might lead to a Mayweather rematch. The money involved could reach over $1 billion, now that the Barrios fight is done. Fans are asking for the rematch louder than ever. With both legends having huge fan bases, the rematch could break records in attention and revenue.
So breaking news, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2 is in talks to happen next if Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios. And Mayweather is expected to be ringside for Pacquiao's fight on Saturday night. And according to reports, the rematch could be the first ever fight to generate over $1 billion, and that would lure Mayweather out of retirement. Now, I definitely saw this coming. Manny's coming out of retirement after 4 years, of course because he's passionate about the sport, and Barrios is a world champion, so it's a legacy fight. But there's bigger name opponents Manny can fight, and the biggest of them all is definitely Floyd Mayweather. I mean, their first fight generated 4.6 million pay-per-view buys, did over $600 million in revenue, including pay-per-views and ticket sales and sponsorships. And even though the fight didn't live up to expectations, it could still be a massive fight. 2 to 3 million pay-per-views right now. Or you could put it on Netflix and hundreds of millions of people would watch it worldwide. So if Manny can pull off the upset against Mario Barrios and become WBC champion on Saturday, don't be shocked if these two's negotiations really start to heat up and then the fight gets made shortly after.
Former champion Sean Porter has a different opinion. He believes the Mayweather-Pacquiao story ended in 2015 and doesn't need to continue. Porter feels the rematch might become more of a nostalgia event than a real fight. He thinks younger fighters could offer better action, and says the legends should be respected without risking their legacies.
Listen, we've seen Manny on the end of bad decisions before. Timothy Bradley, excuse me. Jeff Horn fight, and shout out to Tim. I know how you feel about that. But this is what he's got to deal with. You can't go through a camp, do what you just did right there. We saw all the heart, everything that we've always seen from Manny, and this is the result. Shout out to Mario. He made the fight difficult just from being a big guy who is a better boxer than I realized, came to the ring with a true game plan to try to box and be patient, find openings and things of that nature. I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw. I think that there was a lot more that he could have done. But the main thing is the style that he chose to box was actually a good style to use against Manny Pacquiao. they were saying that they were going to come right to the middle of the ring, and they did. But they came to the middle of the ring, and then they circled, they moved, they worked behind the jab. Not enough jabs, not enough of everything for Mario, you know? So I really don't agree with the draw. All that said, y'all know I got to say the rest. Y'all know I got to say the rest. One more?
Should Manny fight younger guys still? Like, should he fight a Tank? Should he fight a Rolly? Or should he rematch Floyd?
I don't think y'all want to see him with Floyd. Do y'all? I don't know. I'm feeling like the world, because it's Manny Pacquiao, it makes sense for it to be Floyd Mayweather. But I don't know. I thought yesterday you were poking the bear.
Online debates are heating up, especially about Pacquiao's historic achievement of winning titles in 8 different weight classes. Some fans believe this gives Manny the edge in a rematch. People are comparing both fighters based on past performances, styles, and current shape. Pacquiao's record against top fighters keeps the belief alive that he can still beat anyone even Floyd.
So is Floyd Mayweather greater than Manny Pacquiao? I always get this question. If you know me, you know my answer. Floyd is not greater than Pacquiao, and Pacquiao has him beat by a really good margin, in my opinion. Let's talk about it. If your argument is Floyd beat Pacquiao, throw it out the window. Every single boxer in history has lost damn near. That's like saying Buster Douglas is greater than Mike Tyson. If your argument is Manny lost in his career and Floyd didn't, I would disagree with that type of logic, but if that's the case, you got to put all the undefeated fighters at the top. Bud, Inoue, Usyk, Kazagi, all those guys should be in your top 5. I like Floyd. I like Floyd a little bit more than Manny, I'm not gonna lie. Manny's a bit chaotic at times. I don't like that. I like sweet, smooth looking boxing. But let's speak objectively here. If we're talking about in terms of career, whose career will be more harder to replicate? Is going to be Manny Pacquiao, and it's by a really good margin. Now, Floyd's most impressive feats, you look at him, he's a, 5 division champion. He's beaten 23 world champions. He's been in how many title fights? You know, Floyd has an amazing career. And I'm not saying that it can be done. It probably will never be done again. But I could see somebody doing that before they do what Manny did. And that's why I have Manny as the greatest boxer of all time. Just not based off ability. When you look at the guys that Manny beat, the reason why he got the 2000s Fighter of the Decade over Floyd Mayweather, the reason why he got Fighter of the Year 3 years in a row, almost 4 years in a row. Yes, Manny lost. Manny fought more world champions than Floyd, though. We don't speak on that. Then you get into the 8 weight division. These are only the 8 he won titles in. Manny Pacquiao fought through, I want to say, 10 or 11 different weight divisions. If you want to speak on the lineal titles, I want to say he holds the most lineals of all time with like 5 or 6. Youngest lineal flyweight, oldest welterweight champion. It's insane. That. The youngest lineal fly is also the oldest welterweight champion. I like Floyd. Floyd's my number 2 all time. This isn't a diss to Floyd, but Manny, I believe, objectively is the greatest fighter above Ali, above Floyd, above Duran, above Leonard, above everybody. I think he has a career that is absolutely impossible to replicate. When Floyd was picking on guys like Andre Berto and Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao beat the undefeated young active champion and Keith Thurman to join the pound for pound at 40 years of age while being a senator. He's the greatest boxer of all time.
NFL player Cam Binham also praised Pacquiao's recent performance. Said it's not about the opponent, it's about seeing Manny back in the ring. Whether it's Mayweather or someone younger, Cam just wants to watch Pacquiao fight again. His passion and energy have made fans excited. Manny doesn't need revenge, he just needs the spotlight.
Break down the fight. I thought Manny won myself, but what did you see? How did you see the fight?
All right, so obviously I'm a Manny fan, but I'm gonna try and keep it non-biased as possible. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Both had moments, but I think overall Manny did more. I think his punches were more effective, more active. So even on top of that, just the ability for him to go the 12 rounds and do what he was able to do, but be more active every single round. I feel like Barrios picked it up the last 2 rounds, but I still don't believe that was enough. Manny started fast and he sustained pretty much, kind of let his foot off the gas towards the end, but I still thought, in my opinion, it was enough to win the fight to where I don't see how even the one judge got the decision towards Barrios.
Manny told me he thought he won 8-4, even if it's 7-5. But the draw was surprising. At least they didn't rob him, but
yeah.
Do you want to see a rematch? Do you see Mayweather? Do you want to see Rolly? I mean, Manny told me he likes the Rolly fight, I think.
I just want to see Manny. I want to see him in the ring. It doesn't matter who, because I know whoever he fights, it'll be an exciting fight. Obviously, the Floyd one will be big, and that'd, blow up the whole boxing world again. But I just think overall, I want to see Manny in the ring, and I think anybody who has signed a contract with Manny knows what they're going into. It isn't going to be one of those boring fights where they're running. It's going to be, combative, and they're going to be standing in the middle of the ring and fight. And I think, especially like what Manny was saying, it took 2 months for this fight. He has a little more. He's going to look even better. Regardless of the
4
win or
years
loss,
old, 46 years
regardless
old.
Of the win
He
or
looked
loss,
amazing. He didn't
I was
lose.
proud of the way that he went out there. Yeah, he didn't lose.
The draw.
And he fought really well. It was clean. There was nothing. It was just clean. It was a clean fight. But kudos to Barrios for keeping him, keeping it close.
Respect, he's a champion.
Talk about a second Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight is growing fast. Many believe it's the most likely legacy fight to happen. It carries more history and emotion than even Canelo versus Crawford. This wouldn't just be a match, it would be a global event. Fans still argue over who delayed the original fight. Reports say Floyd backed out twice, and Manny once. That blame game adds more drama to the story. The fans want closure, a final chapter to settle it once and for all.
Manny Pacquiao has criticised Floyd Mayweather for running in their fight, which was meant to be the fight of the century and kind of flopped in most people's eyes. This is according to Boxing Kingdom. He said Floyd Mayweather was running for the whole 12 rounds and he won the fight. How is that even possible? I feel sorry for the fans because the fight was boring. That's not what the fans expect from us. If I am a fan, of course, I want to see a good fight and not a fashion show. Now I get it, Manny Pacquiao lost the biggest fight of his career. He lost a fight that may have put him in conversation for the best boxer of all time. And I want to know your opinions on whether Floyd Mayweather did run for the entirety of that fight. In my opinion though, Floyd Mayweather did not run in that fight. He fought tactically, he fought very, very clever. He counterpunched Manny Pacquiao. It wasn't like a Devin Haney performance where he was skating around the outside of the ring. You could see that there was bouts in that fight where Floyd Mayweather was setting up counter punches and landing combinations himself. I think Manny Pacquiao is just a little bit hurt that he lost the biggest fight of his career, really. But there's no excuses there. Manny Pacquiao could have adapted his game. Floyd Mayweather was too defensive. Manny Pacquiao could have overwhelmed him with barrages of punches. The problem is that Manny Pacquiao wasn't able to do that because Floyd Mayweather was too clever and his counter-punching was too good on the night that Manny Pacquiao would likely have been knocked out if he put more pressure on than he already did. But let me know your opinions on the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. Did Floyd Mayweather run around for the entirety of the fight, or was it just very, very poor planning and a poor game plan from Manny Pacquiao? Let me know in the comments. As always, a like, favourite, save and a share, all appreciated. For more boxing content, hit the follow button. Peace out.
The 2015 fight between Pacquiao and Mayweather was called the fight of the century, but many fans felt disappointed. It was too defensive and lacked action. Even legends like Roy Jones Jr. said Floyd shouldn't take much pride in that win. The fight didn't give fans the war they waited years for. Now a rematch could be a chance to fix that and finally give fans the thrilling fight they expected. It's about legacy, redemption, and rewriting the way this rivalry is remembered.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez because that's not the same Pacquiao. Of course. That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever when that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is because look how much money he made.